Okay, so now we're going to discuss who is Allah and where does he fit in with the rest of the Elohim, or the gods of the Middle East and the Arabian Peninsula or of Mesopotamia. Now, in Mesopotamia, we have two Allahs. We have Allah and we have Allahgula, but these may not necessarily be the Allah of Islam. Well, specifically, Allahgula may not be. Allah may be. And that's through the connection with the Hittites and the Hurrians. But what I want to do first is connect Allah to the Elohim. And that is by stating that Allah is derived from the word Eloah, which is the extended version of the name El. So you have the god El, who was the god, the patron deity, the highest deity, the most high deity, El Elyon, of the Elohim, of the different pantheons that you see in the Middle East. El is one of those deities. He's also known as Asher and also known as Enlil or Elil. But El is also Allah. And we know this because Allah was worshipped alongside other deities, and he had a consort named Alat. El's consort was named Ashera, who was also called Elat. So we have El and we have Ashera, and we have Allah and we have Alat. And yes, Ashera and Asher could also be another form of calling for El and Ashera. And in Ugarit, Asherah was called Atarat. So Atarat or Asherah has been a long-standing consort for El, and that's why we see this transferred into the Arabian Peninsula and into Islam with Allah. Now, obviously, this is when Islam was in its early development, before it was even anything akin to Islam that we see today, before it was even called Islam. But this is what the people of the Arabian Peninsula worshipped. This was their theology, this was their spirituality, these were their practices, these were their gods. And these gods were nothing but another emanation of the Elohim from the Levant, of the Anunnaki from Mesopotamia. These are similar gods, and most of them are the same gods, but some of them are copycat gods, because they are sharing one giant pantheon, but they are reinterpreting it and reimagining it every time that it moves lower or further or away from where it started. So while El may have started in the Anunnaki as Ilil or Enlil, and Allah may have been Alala or Elil, depending on how you want to look at it, because Alala translates to Most High, which could have also been El's character when he was the Most High under the Anunnaki. Because there are some renditions of the Anunnaki when El is the Most High. There are times when El is the Most High under the Anunnaki as a rival to Anu, and then he's also a Most High sometimes even under his own, like he has his own genealogy, he has his own lineage, he has his own history. So sometimes Anu and El or Elil or Alala, whatever you want to call them, sometimes they're tied together in this as siblings. Sometimes El is seen as Anu's son. Sometimes Anu is seen as El's son. When Anu is seen as El's son, he is called Shemayim under the Hebrew terms, or Samu under other Semitic terms, or Samuma. So this is where we see that they share this gigantic pantheon that has similar gods. Like we see Shamash, who is a god of the Moabites. We see him over there in the Elbites. They have their own Shamash, which they call Camus, and we see him in Ugarit under the name Zizu Wakamatu, but Zizu could be a separate deity. But my point is, Allah is just another one of these deities, possibly, but I'm leaning towards the evidence that he is El, he is Eloah. So that means Allah's history traces back to El Elyon of the Israelite and Canaanite pantheon of the Elohim, and to Elil or Alala of the Anunnaki pantheon. And that's the truth about Allah. Now, however you want to feel about this is fine, and however you want to still interpret Allah is also fine, because these things have been reinterpreted themselves, as you can see.